Alright, here's the start of the neck job. I stripped everything down off it, took it off the other guitar body there, and tested out my new fret pullers, and it seems to work. I don't think I have to heat these little tiny things up to get them out, so let's get that started. Seems like they grab really nice, and it looks like the slots aren't too wide for reuse here. Let's see what we need to do. Yeah, see what I'm saying about how tiny those little frets are? I mean, that's nothing there. Like, how you gonna play on that? Okay, so far, this is not as scary as it seems to be. I'm sure on other guitars or different ways of doing them, this could be a tad stressful. But so far, it's pretty cut and dry. Squeeze, rock, and lift. And as I say that, this one decides to feel different than the other ones. But it's coming out. It doesn't look like there's no damage being done to the fretboard. I'm not sure if that's a composite fretboard or if it's a wood one or not, but we'll find out here when I start sanding it and seeing what the radius is and all that neat stuff. And I just realized I gotta go search for the frets that I bought a while back. I'm not sure where I put them. So, looks like this is not gonna be a one-shot, one-take video after all. So, but overall, seems simple so far. Don't want to invoke Bill's law, so I'm going to just shut up for the last few frets here and let them do their thing. Alright, welcome to the next phase. I'm going to sand this fretboard off a little bit, get some of the little rough edges out, and then resaw the fret depth there. And I did check the fretboard. It's 20 here to 17 here, so it's going to be interesting to do a radius on this. So for now, I'm just going to clean off the fretboard and get all the junk out of here so I can get the slots cleaned up, and then I'll work out what to do about the radius and see what that looks like after we do this little bit of 320. Alright, I started sanding this off and getting it level and stuff, and as you can see, whatever material this is just dyed. So I don't think there's a green under there. We shall see. If there is, I'll sand it down and see what the grain looks like. If not, then I have some dyes left over from the BRS build, the black, that I'll be able to recoat that with. So let's see where we go with this. Some low spots in there. You can still see the pencil lines I put on there, like right there in the center, there, over on that edge. Actually, that whole edge over there is kind of low. I checked it with a straight edge, and obviously this area over here was higher, so I started sanding there to get that down a little bit and get it closer to level, and that's what started showing up. Alright, we're ready to do the frets and stuff. Got the fretboard all done and sanded down, and got it about as best as I can do with the recoloring and a touch up on whatever that material is. I tried the Kita dye that I used to dye all the black parts on the BRS, and it wasn't soaking into it at all, hardly. So what I ended up doing is I just got some new airbrush inks to start trying for painting and stuff, and I found that the FW black had actually soaked into this and covered up a lot of the nastiness. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's one coat of the ink on there, brushed it back with a coarse napkin, and then I oiled it, was it like 3 times? So it's nice and smooth. It's about as even as I'm going to be able to get it. Looking at it straight on, it's not too bad. So it's a little blotchy if you get up close, but who cares? It's a toy guitar for now. And that is, trying to figure out where the camera lens is. That is the first fret pressed in using that fret press. So we're going to continue on and complete my first fret job. Put the washcloth down there to buffer the neck and pad it so it doesn't get all scarred up and leave marks in the wood. But this hopefully my fat head and arm ain't in the way. This fractal fret press really seems to work nicely. Real even across the board. But we will see. We'll see what the fret rocker says. And so far it's pretty simple. I was panicking over doing it. I guess the hardest part on a new fretboard is going to be marking out where it gets the saw cuts. That's going to be the tricky part, I believe, for me. That's got to be precise. Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, sorry, I'm beating you up on the, where's the, okay, the lens on that side. Okay, so, yes, they are seating what appears to be very nicely. I can feel them press in so they're tight. I don't think they're going to be a problem with them popping out or anything down the road. Of course, I'm going to hit them with some super glue when I'm done. Filling the gaps underneath it and around it and all that stuff. I think I got more worry over cutting myself on the sharp tangs than anything else. And I'll do one more, and then I'm going to call the filming part of this complete until I get to the point where I'm going to cut the nibs off and adjust the sides on all that. So got enough pressed in to to show you what I'm doing, that I am in fact doing it and seemingly winning. So there we go. Alright, we now have frets all in, and I got the ends all dressed and nice and smooth and shiny, ready to go. So next thing to do is hit it with a fret rocker and see how far off everything is, and then we'll do the level crown and polish and be done with the neck, other than doing the tuners and painting the headstock. So we're getting there. I'm happy with my first fret replacement. It's pretty smooth. I mean, there's probably there's one there and two down here that probably need some more filing along the side here. But as far as the fret ends, they're all nice and dressed. And man, this camera sucks for autofocus. Okay, neck is done. Fretting is done. Just put 5 coats of sealer on this. And frets have been crowned and polished. Fretboard is about as good as I'm going to get it with the whatever that material is, because it sure as heck ain't wood. I don't think. It doesn't act like it. It doesn't look like it. But it took the FW black ink pretty good. I mean, you can see it's hazed out some spots, but a lot better than it did look. So another final sanding on that sealer, and then we can go on to color. I'm going to color the headstock red and put the stripes on it, like the Eddie Van Halen stuff. And the body is going to be next on the list here. I'm going to start sanding that in about 20 minutes after I go get something to eat here. And we're going to keep moving on.